Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves UGB here on FlossTube, but also, good start, also over on Instagram as well. Welcome to the Sunday briefing. I've no clue what number it is, I'll put it down below, and I'm unsure of the date as well, I'll put that down below as well. You can see I'm in the Cotswolds. Mum wanted to come home and at least just check to make sure her house was still standing before she comes back to spend a few more weeks with us. And I've had the most fantastic day. I caught up with old friends and I went to a pub. Now, I'd like to point out that the fact that I went to a pub and the fact that I don't know what the date is or what the FlossTube number is, those two are not related. Those two pieces of information are usually quite tenuous in my brain at best. But yeah, I went and had a drink with one of my oldest friends and it was fantastic just to sit and chat in a beer garden. The weather was lovely. It was just absolutely blissful. I was talking to another friend of mine, my best friend today, and I think we've both been going through the same thing recently where we really feel that we just want to reconnect with the people that knew us when we were young. Now, we had a fantastic group of friends when we were younger. And we still know them all today. We just don't speak as much as we used to. We used to be out and about every weekend, getting up to all sorts of mischief. But now we're all a bit older with children and families. We just don't see one another so much. But we've all really felt that we've missed one another in our lives. So yeah, we are starting to make plans to get back together and do some of the things that we used to do when we were younger. Not quite all of the things that we used to do when we were younger, but some of the things that we used to do. And it was interesting actually. I was talking to my best friend and I said, you know what, I said, all the friends that I've got in West Wales and you know in various other places, if my back was really up against the wall, these are the people that I would still ring. So yeah, can't wait to spend a bit more time with them, and it's been absolutely fantastic. So I hope you've had a really good week as well. I've got a few stitchy things to show you. It's not going to be a massively long video, but I do have the usual shenanigans. I've got some stitching to show you. I've got 2 FFOs. I've got a freebie. I've got some plans. I've got a lovely bit of stitchy kindness and just the tiniest little bit of haul. It really is only small. So I'm going to start off with my FFOs. As I said, I've got 2. And as a lot of you know, I have been working on the monthly Orny sale. And up until recently, I had been behind in the monthly Orny sale. Well, I am pleased to report, not only have I caught up. Anyone would think I've literally been in the pub all afternoon. I haven't. I went to the pub, I had 1 drink, and that was hours ago. So yeah, not only have I done that, I've caught up and I've done July's. So I'm actually ahead for the first time in ages. I'm going to take these glasses off my head because they keep falling off. I was going to wear them, but the glare was too much. And what I've been working on are these. Let's take those out of the packet. Foxwood Crossings Sleighs. Now, I was very kindly lent several of these patterns by a lovely stitcher called Vanessa, and I will be starting to stitch a few more of these so I can get them back to her, but she lent me quite a few. So I chose to do 2 from this collection. There are 3, and I have saved the threads in the packet, so maybe I'll do the 3rd one, but I think I'm happy with 2 of them. So this is my June monthly Orny sale, so that catches me up for June, and as you can see, it's just this beautiful little stitched with DMC on perforated paper and then mounted onto one of the sleds. Now this is the small sled by Foxwood Crossings, and you can buy these from Patchwork Rabbit. Don't forget, if you want to get anything from Patchwork Rabbit, please do use my link below. It just lets Carla and the team know that you've come via me. So that is the one for June. And then I enjoyed doing it so much this week that I did this one as well. And so that is my ornament for July. When I get back home, I will take a picture of all of the ornaments that I've done. But I've now got 7 little ornaments. I think 4 of them are Christmas maybe, and then 3 or maybe 5 are Christmas and 2 are not Christmas. Yeah, 5 and 2 I think it is. So there they are. Oops. There they are together. So we'll see if YouTube grabs this as my screenshot. I've had some really awful screenshot choices the last couple of weeks, so we shall see. I am wearing my Picture This Plus inspired hoodie again today. So there we go. So that's those. And as I said, she did send me quite a few of those charts to borrow. So I do want to get on and do some other ones. I've got 2 of the next size up sleighs at home already, so I might dig out some medium ones. Right, what have I been up to? Cross stitch camp. I have been loving cross stitch camp, which is the brainchild of Cherie, who is the Colorado, I never know whether she's Colorado cross stitcher or Colorado stitcher. I'll put her Instagram and YouTube FlossTube name below. So I decided to have a Barbara Anna camp, which is okay for the first one. June, the theme of the camp was to stitch something that you've been inspired to stitch. Well, I'm always inspired to stitch Barbara Anna. Every time I see somebody else stitching, I just want to stitch that. So I have been stitching Garden of Dreams. Now I haven't brought the chart out with me because I've only got the PDF download, and there's no, other than that, there's nothing much on the front. So this is where I am with Garden of Dreams. Now I've got until Wednesday to finish this off, which I think will be fine. There's a few, there's a sun missing up there, there's a few little doodads missing on this side, a little bit here, and then it's just mostly this green, the green fill-in. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Poltergeist. Let me see if I can put something white behind it and make it show up a bit better. 32 count white 32 count Poltergeist, which I have now put something white behind. And Poltergeist is by Silkweaver. So it is actually a very pale purple. It looks more purple, probably about there. Yeah, it looks more purple in real life. And I've got a couple of ideas of how to finish this. I quite fancied an oval hoop for her, but then I've also dyed some velvet. So the good thing about those Dynaflow paints that I showed you weeks and weeks ago now is that you can dye, because they're a fabric paint, you can dye whatever you like with them. Unlike the Rit dye, in which case you need the specific, there's 2 types of Rit dye, there's a synthetic and a non-synthetic. So the velvet that I've got is actually more of a synthetic rather than a cotton velvet. And so I would need to buy specific Rit dye for that. But the Dynaflow paint you can use on whatever fabric you like. So I've been experimenting in dyeing some velvet. So I quite fancy maybe a pillow in this kind of turquoise velvet backing, but I'll have a look and see how I fancy turning things out in the end. We'll see. So I've been working on her. As I said, I need to get her finished for the end of June, otherwise I won't be allowed to stay at camp. Well, I will, I'll just squirrel myself under one of the bunk beds. They'll never know I'm there. And that, let me just talk about cross stitch camp actually, because that just kind of neatly fits. So I'd said I wanted to do a Barbara Anna cross stitch camp, so June, July and August. So July, I was reading today, has a different prompt, and it's stitching by a designer that you've not stitched with before. And so I was like, well, I can't do Barbara Anna. So this is one of my purchases. This has been sat in my Etsy cart for quite a long time, and I thought, well, that's a perfect excuse, isn't it? And it's this one, Blackwork Bird cross stitch pattern. Sorry, excuse me, I've got a really itchy nose. Sorry, that was so itchy. So this is by Cherie Wheeler, and I absolutely love that little bird. I think it's fabulous. Now what you can't see is that the chart actually has a square, it's set in a square, but the way the pillow's been made, the edge of the chart, the edge of the square actually forms the edge of the pillow. I think I would probably make mine just a little bit bigger so that you could see the full design, but I really like that. I like the fact that he's quite a little portly bird. So this is going to be my project for cross stitch camp, and it won't take very long. It is only 49 by 55 stitches, and then I want to do this little bird. Now this is a Barbara Anna, and I'm sure you've all seen this. So this was in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, 2019 summer issue, and this is called Strawberry Time. Now I really like her. I might change the colours slightly. I don't know why, I quite fancy her in a patriotic dress, a red, white and a blue dress. So I might change the colours on her, but she is going to be my second stitch for cross stitch camp, because the way I see cross stitch camp working, I've always imagined it in my head like Kellerman's from Dirty Dancing, that you can go and take different classes from. Every time anyone mentions cross stitch camp, I get Kellerman's from Dirty Dancing in my head. And so I think that there's probably going to be another workshop going on. So once I finish my main project, I can sort of carry my watermelon across the bridge and go and find myself a Barbara Anna group of buddies to go and work with. Some of the ones that maybe aren't sort of quite part of the main camp, they've just formed a bit of a breakaway. So we can do the main bit. That's our main camp. This is going to be our crossing the watermelon scene in the barn project. So can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. What else have I done? I started a new project. Because I realised that actually we've had the longest day, the 21st of June. And so now we're technically into summer, and I haven't done my Welcome Summer. Excuse the rattling. So this is Welcome Summer by The Drawn Thread, which I bought as a kit from Chris at the Nimble Thimble. Do go and check out her website, it's fantastic. And remember, if there's something on there that you can't see, do give her a call, because she's got lots and lots of things in the shop that aren't on the website yet. And I'm going to try and change the flag. I'm not sure whether I'm going to try and change it for the Union Jack or the Welsh flag yet, but I'm stitching it on 30 count, whatever comes with it. Does it say lamb's wool? And it's being stitched in the called for silks, and that's as far as I've got so far. Let me see if I can put something white behind it to make it look a bit. There we go. Now there actually isn't that much cross stitch on this chart, so that's me just starting the L, and I've put on the C, the O, the M and the E all of the cross stitch that's actually on there. The rest of them are specialty stitches, so eyelet stitch and satin stitch, and I'm going to do those at the end. I'm going to do all my cross stitch, and then I'm going to go back and do my satin stitch, because the one thing that I found when I stitched my Welcome Spring is, because I roll my fabric, when I started at this end I was rolling the fabric over the silk, and it started to get just a little bit fuzzy, so I decided to start at this other end so that I could sort of unravel my fabric and not kind of fuzz up my stitches. And that's why I haven't ironed this one. I ironed this one and the other one I worked on because Mum always keeps an ironing board up in her house. In one of her spare rooms she always keeps an ironing board up, and so it's easy. But I don't like constantly ironing silks, so that one will stay crinkled and interesting until I finish it. And this one comes with the silks, and it also comes with a few little black beads as well. So that will be fun. And then the last thing that I've worked on this week, and I haven't done very much, is this one, Quaker Samplings number 3. And I saw somebody else had started this, and they're doing it in a beautiful kind of greeny grey colour, and it looked amazing. So this is where I am, and the only thing I've done really is start to play around with the acorns, because if you remember, I had this idea that I wanted to do the acorns in a bit of a different colour. Now this is showing up much more brown than it actually is. Let me see if I can show you the thread colour. So I'm doing it in a sulky thread, 12 weight, 1169. 1169. So it's quite a burgundy red. Although it is a browner red, but it's just not as brown as it's showing up here. And I had a fascination. I quite fancied doing the acorns in a different colour. And so I first of all thought I might want to do them. I have got a variegated sulky, which came in a pack in which this was in. And so I thought, oh, I'll have a look and see how they go. And I didn't mind so much the first one, but then when I did the double one at the bottom, it just didn't look, I just didn't like it. So I switched to a brighter red, which is 1147, that one. And I think I'm more pleased with it. Let's see if I can get it to show. So I've done one down at the bottom there, just underneath the swan, and I've started to do another double one just at the top there. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it or not. I think I like it, but the jury is still out just a little bit. So I will frog that other acorn and put it in the red and see. That's probably a better colour there. So yeah, I'll have a look and see what I think. But I think I like the idea of doing the acorns in a different red. It sort of draws your eye. If I do them in a different red, my other problem is this motif here, which is a big motif with 2 acorns on it. So do I do the main bit in the darker and then just do the acorns, or do I do the whole thing in a different red? I don't know. Or do I stitch the idea of the different red all together? Be interested to know what you think. So that is pretty much it for my stitching. In fact, that is it for my stitching. It's not even pretty much it. That's it. Super pleased with my little finishes. Can't wait to finish my Barbara Anna and get started ready for next month. So what have I got? Let's go for a little freebie. Let's go for a little freebie. This one I've picked out. Oh, itchy face as well. It's just different air. It's different air around here. It's different to the sea air. And it makes me itchy. Right, so this is one I've picked out today. And this is just a little pillow finish by Hands On Design. And it's called Farm Fresh. Let me just fold it that way so I can hold it a bit more closely. How cute is that? So if you had a dough bowl with lots of kind of farmy inspired things, you could even do it for Easter. It would definitely go into summer as well. You could just do that little stitch. I really like that. Really like that. So thank you very much to Hands On Design for the freebie. I'll put the link down below and you can go and visit. Two last things. One, I haven't had any correspondence from the person who won the chart from last week. So from Willow and Brook Designs, Betty Horsfall. I'll put the name of the person down below. So if you can get in touch with me either by email or by DMing me on Instagram, then that would be great. I can pass your information on to Josie from Willow and Brook Designs. And don't forget, for the rest of you, there is still a code for 20% off, which is Mama20, if you want to go onto her Etsy store and buy yourself a copy of Betty Horsfall. Right, last two things. A little bit of haul and some stitchy kindness. So, haul. Get ready. So I did buy that one chart from Etsy that's been sat in my Etsy cart for ages. I bought 2 threads that I had needed for finishing off Barbara Anna, and I found this as well. How cute is that? Just a little tiny tin, and it's a little slide tin like that, and I thought that would be so cute if I just put a little magnet in the bottom there, then I can keep all my needles in there and little bits and bobs. So cute. It's light enough, actually, I think, if you wanted to make it into the whole thing into a needle minder, or maybe even a little aught catcher, you could put a magnet on the back and put it onto your project. So it's a little tiny tin. Does it tell me where it comes from? Emma Ball, emmaball.co.uk. So I bought it from a little stitchy shop in Bourton-on-the-Water, which is where I am at the moment. Not for much longer, going home tomorrow. But yeah, if you want to go and see if you can find them, I might even go and see if they've got any other ones, because they are mega cute. So yeah, I bought that. And then a lovely lady called Kirsty messaged. I feel like I'm running somebody else's teeth in for them today. Right. A lovely lady called Kirsty messaged me and said that she had been given a chart that wasn't her taste, and would I like it? She's much more of a full coverage stitcher, and she told me what the chart was, and I said, oh yes please, I've been meaning to get that chart. I've always liked it. And the chart is by Plum Street Samplers, Eliza Scattergood. So it says Eliza Scattergood, her work 1839, and then it says, when I survey this work of mine, I'm filled with joy and dread. May Christ my life with his entwine before my last day's thread. So I really like that. As I think I've said to you before, I'm not a religious person, so whether I would stitch that bottom phrase, I don't know, or whether I would change it slightly, but I absolutely love this top bit, and this motif here I really like as well. That would make just such a cute little small. So thank you so much. And the other thing she sent me, and I was just totally gobsmacked by this, she was kind enough to include a gift voucher to the Crafty Kitten for me. So I shall really enjoy picking out something from there. I've already been sort of scoping out some Gloriana threads from there that I know Dawn does, and maybe picking out the threads, or some of the threads for Eliza Scattergood. So she stitched in DMC or NPIs, so I'll have a look and see what I fancy. But it will be a real treat to go on there and to get something that I wouldn't have normally purchased, hence why I'm thinking maybe Gloriana's or some other kind of silks. So thank you so much. That is so kind of you, Kirsty, and just to think of me and to send it on. I'm so grateful to you. And that's it. That is it from me today. I told you it'd be short and sweet. I will see you next week, back in the normal place. I'm hoping to have some interesting haul next week. You'll be like, oh, what has she been doing this time? What has she been doing this time? And I can't wait to show you. So until next week, have a lovely, safe, stitchy week. Stay classy, stitchers.